How's it going, guys? I am Money here, and from the title, as you can tell, I have a very crazy dream. I actually just had this dream. It's 4 a.m. in the morning, and usually I'm actually still awake playing video games, but I was talking to Miafia, and I crashed, and then I woke up from this dream. So, this literally just happened, and the reason it's kind of crazy is because, you know what, I'll explain it as the dream goes by, because it's actually kind of relevant to what happened today. So that's how, like, cool and crazy the dream was. It actually felt like I was in the dream. And I actually don't survive, which is, it's not a good sign, man. It's not a good sign at all. So I'm with my best friend, Price, as some of you may know, and we're in this apartment slash house. Now, the one thing that's weird about the house or the apartment, whatever it is, it's not ours. So it's nighttime where we are, and my friend comes home with this girl who's in a wheelchair, and I guess I'm familiar with her. I don't know her, but I'm familiar with her. And they're kind of like, we're all kind of drinking, hanging out. And one thing to note, at least I heard this in a documentary, that you can't actually have dreams about people that you've never seen or met, or, you know, you can't like create faces in your dream that, like, I guess your mind just doesn't do that. So this girl, like, I knew her face, but I didn't know who she was. Like, she's a friend of mine on Facebook that we hung out before at a club, and, you know, we're all hanging out, and I have her face, but I don't know who she is. So that's kind of weird, because I've never really hung out with this person. But we're hanging out, and my best friend is, for the younger people, trying to get frisky with this individual, and we're kind of drinking. And like I said, she's in a wheelchair, so that's kind of weird in itself. But we're all kind of drinking, hanging out, and then like she kind of goes, not like crazy, but kind of like stalker kind of crazy. And then out of nowhere, she's kind of like, yeah, so Sarah, does she know I'm here? And Sarah is his current girlfriend. And, oh, you didn't know I knew you had a girlfriend, huh? Just like you didn't know I had a boyfriend. So things kind of get kind of fucking weird from there, but we continue to drink. And then somehow the dream kind of fast forwards into the night, kind of like 3 hours later, once we're all kind of intoxicated. They're kind of arguing, and she's kind of spewing off at the mouth like other crazy shit. And then I know where she gets up out of the wheelchair and walks the fuck off. And my friend is really drunk, so he doesn't even take notice. And I'm like, yo, this bitch can walk, bro. Like, you didn't just see this girl just get up and walk the fuck off like she's walking. We have our little exchange between the fact that she's supposed to be, you know, in a wheelchair. They met in a wheelchair. He's always known she was in a wheelchair. And then she kind of just walks the fuck off, which is kind of weird in its fucking self. And it's actually kind of creepy in the dream, because for some reason where she walked off to, the ceilings were low. So it was kind of like she had to crouch to like walk off to wherever what the fuck she was going. So she kind of looked like a fucking troll or something. But you know, that's kind of irrelevant. So again, the dream kind of fast forwards again. And this time it kind of fast forwards to where I'm in a different room with two kids. And one is a baby, and I'm talking to the baby, and the other one is like an infant age kid, like maybe, you know, 1.5, 2. Now, what's weird about these kids is I've never seen or met these kids in my freaking life. So I don't understand how in this dream I have kids, since I've never met or seen these kids in my life. But I'm kind of taking care of these kids, and the infant comes over, and I'm kind of playing with the infant. It's a boy. And we're kind of, you know, having fun with kids, things you do. And then Sarah walks in the front door. She's like, hey, I got pizza. From there, I go into the kitchen, which is kind of diagonal to the place where we're hanging out with that girl in the wheelchair. And there's a big window there, which is kind of cool because it gives you a really awesome view of the mountain, which is Mount Rainier. And we're eating the pizza. And then I'm like, dude, like the mountain, it looks really smoky. And my friend's like, dude, don't be playing around like that. That's not even funny. Not to mention, you know, it's not even gonna fucking happen. And I'm like, dude, my friend, my coworker at work, Kevin, which literally happened today, because there were clouds over Mount Rainier, but there were no clouds in the sky. So I was like, hey, it looks like Mount Rainier is like getting ready to erupt. And he kind of freaked out. He was like, dude, don't talk shit. That shit's not funny. That shit, you better hope that shit doesn't erupt. And I'm like, dude, we're like fucking 200 miles. Granted, we were 80 miles. So in my mind, that's the medium zone, I think. I don't know. I watched too many, you know, volcano movies. So my friend who's freaking out, I'm like, hey, I explained to him the same thing I just explained to you. Like, he was freaking out too. So then there's sparks and smoke coming from the volcano. And I'm like, dude, like the volcano. And I'm kind of like freaking out. Like, I'm looking and I'm stunned, because clearly I've never seen a volcano erupt in my life. But I'm looking out at the fucking volcano, or the mountain, and there's smoke, and there's fucking like fire and shit, like shooting up like fireworks from the mountain. And I grab my friend, the fucking volcano's erupting. And he's kind of like, dude, not funny and literally not possible because, like, that's not even a good one. You're not even clever. So then I like grab him by his shoulder and I pull him over the table and I'm like, the fucking volcano's erupting. And then, like, Sarah, who kind of disappears from the dream after that, kind of runs off to grab some stuff. But then my best friend runs off with her to grab some stuff, and I run to my room. And all I seem to grab are some phones. I grab my 2 phones that I grab every day before I leave for work, and 2 chargers. So then I run back to the front door, and this is kind of where Sarah disappears. She comes out of the room, kind of grabbing stuff she doesn't need. So I'm like, you only need essentials. But then as soon as I say, like, we only need essentials, I can't really breathe. And for some reason in my dream, I counted that to the smoke had reached us and there's carbon monoxide in the air. So it's making it hard for all of us to breathe. I don't know if that's actually like legit, if that would actually happen. If so, in my dream, I'm a fucking scientist and I'm smart as shit. But that's pretty much what happened. And that's kind of where Sarah like fades off out of the dream. So then like I can't really breathe and my friend can't really breathe and we're getting sleepy. And I'm like, you just have to stay awake and we have to get outside. So I grab him, and here's where another thing kind of gets weird. The apartment we live on, for some reason, it's like 2 stories. So we're going down these long ass fucking stairs, and we get out to some cars. Now, here's another thing that kind of gets weird. When we go outside, somehow my family's with us. When I say my family, my brother's there, my sister's there, my mom appears, and we're getting into like cars that we don't even own. Like there's a white big truck. Not like, you know, a dream truck, but a legit like suburban white truck that we don't own at the current moment. And then there's like, my brother has a rusty red wagon truck. And then there's like another car in the middle that I can't for some reason recall the graphics of it. But we're getting our stuff into this vehicle, and then the mountain, it kind of like starts to erupt again, and all these clouds are kind of being pushed our way. So I gather everyone together, and because in my dream, you know, I'm the alpha male, and clearly I know about all kind of disasters and can survive them. So I'm telling everyone, you know, what the fuck needs to happen. Like we need, you know, fresh water. We need to gather our electronics, keep your phones on. They might not work, but you need them anyway. And then out of nowhere, a cloud comes. So I'm like, down! Like I scream at the top of my lungs. And I'm like, down! So as the cloud like covers, it literally is passing through us. This is where shit kind of gets weird, because it's kind of like, it was like dying light. And like there's like 2 like zombie things. One was running. So okay, there was 3. One was kind of running in the smoke. So like I could see it and then the smoke covered it. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm hallucinating. I can't really breathe that well. But then there's 2 other ones that kind of like are jumping like they were doing in Dying Light. Like they're fucking just jumping on all 4s or whatever towards us. And I'm like run fast as shit. So I run to the side of the door and I try to open it. And you know, in your dream, you're not supposed to die. Like you always fucking survive or you have an answer. Here's where like, I woke up instantly. Like I got grabbed on my shoulder and it felt like I really got grabbed on my shoulder. And then I got bit in my back and then on the left side of my back in the middle. And if you've ever been bitten there or been scratched or something in the left side, like in the middle of your back, it has a very distinct feeling to it. Like you're not used to being felt there. That's what it felt like. It felt exactly like it occurred. And then I got bit like on my upper shoulder. And then I just woke up out of nowhere. And then I was like, because my mind, you know, was fucking retarded. What if that was my future? What if I just dreamt my future? We have a house somewhere near Seattle. Maybe that's our view. We have a really nice view of a fucking mountain in the future. We own a white looking Suburban. And for some reason, my brother trades in his luxury vehicle for a raggedy old wagon. I don't know, man. But it was fucking cool. One, I love dreaming. And 2, I love even more realistic dreams. Especially scary dreams. I really love nightmares. But that was my dream. It was fucking awesome. I had to have the dream. I had a vision from God. That's all for me, man. I just passed down a vision from God to you guys. That was cool. Alright guys, catch you guys next time. I am Money out.